So you go into that 19 season again. You're a big part of this staff, and we all know what happened in 19. Obviously, like I said, comparing it to 17. But I think it's no secret that the loss of Carmen was really kind of what kind of derailed everything. I mean, you lose your bona fide ace, and I remember I was at all three of those Clemson games. So I was at that Clemson game when he got that freak injury, broke his foot. But we'll talk on a more positive light. Again, you grow up a Gamecock baseball fan to beat Clemson in that 19 series, and obviously I had Reed on the show and other guys, but Reed with that great performance on Sunday. And I did you pitch in that series? I'm trying to think. Did you pitch in that series?
I did. I pitched at Floor.
That's right. Okay, yeah. Greenville. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think it was Green because I know you didn't pitch the first one at Clemson, which was that was the Brett Carey game.
Yeah.
But anyways, phenomenal weekend. I mean, you finally get them. Talk about the rivalry as a whole, because I would argue it's the best college baseball rivalry in the country. And then getting that win over them, and you having that personal tie, being from the local area, I'm sure that had to be extra sweet for you.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I pitched in Greenville, so I really didn't get to. I don't think I pitched at Clemson my whole career.
Really?
I think I pitched at Floor Field every time we played Clemson. But just getting that satisfaction of like finally beating them from like earlier in my career, it was nice.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it is a big rivalry. There's a ton of people that support it, come out and support each team. So it's a great atmosphere, great rivalry. I mean, it's just awesome.
Yeah. And intense. I remember that 19 year, that was the year that, and his name slips my mind, but the guy made the culture comments about like our culture is better than their culture as far as like our team. And I remember, I mean, I've had guys on, it's like, you don't say anything publicly, but behind closed doors, everybody kind of, it's like, okay, let's go kick their ass.
Yeah.
Like, for sure. And you guys did that, obviously, that Sunday game. But talk about just the challenges of the 19 season. I mean, again, and I thought it was interesting because a lot of the guys you saw thrust in early, I think of Danny Lloyd. I mean, there were a lot. I mean, you're asking these young bucks to again go out there and compete against Emerson Hancock. And I remember I think it was Danny Lloyd pitching on that Friday, or I think maybe y'all played him on Thursday or whatever. But I mean, or maybe it was Reed. I don't know. But I remember talking to Reed about this. Like, you just look at the pitching matchups and it's like, you want to believe you're going to win every game, but at some point you're like, we're kind of outmanned here.
Yeah.
Just talk about that, because again, on one hand, it was tough. It was a struggle, but it's a great growing opportunity for you personally. I mean, to get out there, thrown in the fire. I mean, and we got the picture up behind us from that game. I know you were out there for that one, but just that season as a whole, I'd imagine for you personally, there was a lot of growth there.
Yeah. So that season, it started off pretty good, honestly. I think what killed us, I don't want to say when Carmen got hurt, I think it was definitely that last month to where we literally had 10 pitchers. It was like 9 or 10 pitchers left because everyone was hurt.
Yeah.
Like Tommy John, I hurt my back in April 2019. So I missed the last month. And it was just brutal because we didn't have everyone at full capacity. Like, we didn't have our guys. We didn't have Carmen.
Not playing with a full deck. I mean, you're literally not playing with a full deck.
We were just trying to scrape by, honestly, but that's all we could do.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have any other options. So that last month was brutal. I would say there was definitely some positives during that whole season. Yeah. I can't remember specifically.
Well, you overcome adversity and you learn a lot about yourself. And I think there were definitely positives from the individual side. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that 19 year, though, you guys were like leading the nation in home runs for a little bit there. Like, the power was there.
Our hitting was there.
Yeah, hitting was there. But again, in that type of season, you're going to learn a lot about yourself as a player. And like, can you overcome adversity? Because again, that's the biggest thing in baseball is you're going to fail more than you succeed. And I mean, obviously there were some memorable moments. We'll talk about the one we were talking about off air a little bit, but that Georgia game. And I mean, maybe it's bad I'm saying that. That's like one of the most memorable outings you had at your career for me, is because it was so crazy how it started versus how it ended up. But you go out there and you said it was Georgia, and maybe people won't remember this. Maybe it's just me, but load the bases, nobody out. And everybody's like goes in panic mode on, obviously social media is a calm, cool, collected place. Right. But anyway, you're watching the game. You're like, oh my God, this might be a long day. I don't know if you struck out the next 3 or you got out of it, whatever. Yeah. No damage done. You end up going like, I think 6 or 7, maybe. I mean,
it was 5.
Yeah.
4 or 5,
a longer outing than we would have expected. It was like a 40 pitch first inning.
Yeah.
But I'll ask you, just memorable outings. I know, like you said, you don't remember everything from them, but memorable outings, where does that one rank? Because like I said, that was just so crazy. Like I would ask if you ever had an outing like that where it starts out so poorly and then turns out to be like a pretty solid day at the office.
Honestly, no. That was probably the only one like that, but it's definitely probably top 3 and most memorable. Like, because it was just such, like, it was so bad and then it went so good.
Right.
But I would say like probably the top 2 would either be my first win against Vanderbilt. We were down like 7-0 going into the 4th, and I came in out of the bullpen and pitched an inning, got out of it, no runs. And then the next inning, we were up 8-7. I think we scored 8 runs or something like crazy. So I was lined up for the win, and I pitched like 3 1/3. I was eligible for the win, and I got the win, thankfully. But that's one of them. And then playing Tennessee on Sunday, I think in 17? No, 18.
Yeah, 18.
I came out of the bullpen with the bases loaded in a 2-0 count. Threw one ball, got to 3-0. Or no, it was a 1-0 count. Sorry. 1-0 count, threw 2 balls, got to 3-0, bases loaded, 2 outs. Threw 3 straight strikes, struck the guy out and got out of the inning. And we were up like 1. So if the single, like we're going to be down, obviously. So I don't know. That was one of the crazy ones too. It was just kind of like, all right, my back's against the wall. I have to do something here. Just going to throw strikes. Like
switching gears a little bit. Best hitter you ever faced while you're at Carolina? Is there one guy you can think of like this guy just can't get this guy out for whatever reason? Just like gave you trouble.
Yeah, there was, what's his name? From Florida, Nelson.
I know who you're talking about.
The righty, Nelson something. Maldonado.
Yeah.
Nelson Maldonado. He always gave me fits. Like, I remember,
pretty damn good player too.
Yeah, he can
tip
swing
the cap. Like,
I don't know what he's doing now, but he could swing it in college. I threw him like a 0-2 fastball in, trying to jam him, and he somehow like hits it down. He pulls it down the line, and like 2 runs score. I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Like, how did he freaking hit that? And like he always gave me like the toughest at bats, honestly. So he was one of the guys. I never faced like JJ Bleday. I did face Austin Martin in that first Vandy game that I pitched. I can't remember what happened. He's a stud now, but
was there a guy on your own team that gave you? Because I mean, obviously you guys battle each other in inter squads and all that. And like, was there like a guy on your own team that you just couldn't get for whatever reason?
I think so. Brady Allen, I think he's gonna be a stud, but literally, so I think in a I can't remember if it was the Garnet and Black World Series or just a fall scrimmage in general. Hit a grand slam off me, and I kind of asked for it. It was 2-0. I had to throw a fastball, deposits it in center field. So he always gave me fits. That's the only one I can really think of right now.
Scrappy. Brady's a scrappy hitter.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, that first year, my 2016 fall, I guess you could say Ross Grosvenor. He hit a nuke off me. Jonah Bride hit a nuke off me.
Some good, some sluggers on that team. For sure. You leave one over the middle, they're going to take you deep.